Welcome to the first lesson in Module 2. Guys, I'm super excited to get into this one. This is where it starts to get fun. We've covered the fundamentals. You know how to build a basic page, lay elements out across the page, do basic design and stuff like that. But now we're really going to be diving into the back end of Bubble. While the front end and UI design is cool, the back end and workflows and connecting with other applications, calling APIs, that's where all the magic happens in your application, which is why this is going to be the most important module to learn. So let's come over to our Bubble editor, and you can see I've already pre-built a little login UI here, and I've also made the sign-up page with a little sign-up component here. Going forward, I want to skip over a lot of the pre-designed builds because it saves a lot of time. We've already gone over this in Module 1, so just pause the video and replicate what I have here. It doesn't need to look pretty at all. We're basically going to be focusing on the functionality behind it, and that's what a lot of this module is going to cover, is the workflows. So let's get right into workflows. Let's go to our login. Actually, you know what? Let's start in signup. So we'll start in signup, and the first thing we're going to want to do is come and select our signup button. And we'll edit, we'll go right into add workflow, and just like before, we click here to add an action. And for this, we're going to be using the account tab. So you can see here all the things associated with signing a user up, logging a user in, basically all the authentication required for any application, really. This is where it's housed. So we'll start with sign the user up. Now, what happens when we do this? Well, we want an email and password, and that's pretty much all there is to it. So we'll capture the email, we'll get our input email sign up, and we'll take the value. And that'll get the email, and we'll do the same thing for password. So we'll select input password signup, and we'll take the value. And that is all that is required to sign a user up. Very simple, very straightforward. It takes little to no time. Let's go test out and see what happens when we try to sign up now. So we'll preview. So let's enter test@gmail.com, and then test123, and we'll sign up. So it says this email is already in use, test@gmail.com. So let's go back to our database and see if it is already in use. Come to your app data. You can see, in fact, that it already has an email there. And look at that, Bubble already put an alert out there. It already knew that there was an email there. We didn't have to do anything. I didn't set up an alert system. It automatically does that for you. So let's go back, and we'll just add a 1. We'll sign up. And now notice nothing happened. We didn't set up any confirmation or alert to let the user know what happened, but you should definitely do so in a real life build. However, for testing, let's just go back to our app database, and you can see that we now have a test1@gmail.com created on December 6th, 9:50 a.m., and you can see that it successfully signs the user up. Now a user can come to our login, and we'll build the workflow, and it should be able to log the user in with the same credentials. Notice something important here. Password is not stored in your database. When it comes to password and security like this, it's not really important to know how it works for our purposes, but you should know the basics of passwords. When a user inputs a password in Bubble, it automatically gets hashed and encrypted. So let's go to our login page and log the user in. Come back to our design, go to login. We'll select the login button, and we'll give it an edit and edit workflow. Let's log the user in, and we'll select an email again. So for this, we'll select input emails value, and then password. So input passwords value. And let's try to log in as the user we just were. So we'll preview. We'll log in. And actually, to better showcase this, let's direct the user somewhere when they log in. So let's go back. Let's log the user in, and then if they log in, let's direct them to our index page. So how do we do that? Well, we go to navigation. Again, these work in steps, so we log the user in as step 1. If that's successful, we go to step 2. So now we go to page, and the destination we want to go to is our index page. Great, so now the user should be able to log in and get directed right to our index page. Let's go see if this is working correctly. So go to preview. Come to our login, and we'll enter our email as before, so test1@gmail.com and test123, and we'll log in. See, I have the debugger. We're going to cover this a little bit later. For now, I don't want to deal with that, so let's just get rid of that up here in the URL. We'll do that again, test1@gmail.com. gmail.com and test 1, 2, 3. We'll log in. And we are on our Welcome to Index page. So you can see that if it recognizes a user in the database, it logs that user in with the credentials and then navigates to the page we want it to. And that's how basic login and sign up work. There's really not much to it. Of course, you can have multiple different fields when a user signs up or logs in. So for example, if we went to sign up, we could also have fields that indicate what type of role a user is, gather their name, their personal info, anything we want to gather on the sign up form, we can. And once they sign up, all we're doing is updating the database here with the new fields. Just make sure when you're doing that you do have your database set up to capture those types. So for example, if we want to capture a name, just make sure you create a new field and then enter a name field. And this would just be a text you can create. And this is why no code is so important in development of the future. It's because it's so easy to do things that would normally take you 30 minutes. It now takes us 2 minutes to do. It saves so much time. It's so easy. So there's really no reason not to learn this skill. And remember why you're doing this. It is to make money. At the end of the day, why are you taking this course? It's to take this skill and to turn it into an income. So let's go right into the next lesson where we're going to cover user privacy, such as admin roles and super admin roles, things like that. And then it's finally time to get in one of my favorite lessons, which is OpenAI's API and APIs in general. I think it's super fun. So get ready for that, and I'll see you in the next one.